Before you go full-time in adult content, I want you to pause for just a second and really, really think about what that decision is asking from you. Because going full-time can be an incredible opportunity. Yeah, I hear you. It can give you more freedom, more flexibility, more control over your schedule, and the ability to build something that is genuinely yours. That decision is also a real business decision, and decisions made for real businesses need more than just excitement. They need planning. They need honesty and clear understanding of what life actually costs. So recently over on r/creators_spicy_tea, we had a post go up from a creator asking when the community knew it was time for them to go full time. And the community, y'all, you guys came together with advice, personal experience, and a lot of really thoughtful answers. And it made me think back to when I first started. And I first started to have really great months back to back regularly. And I began asking myself that same damn question. When do you know you're ready? And not just when you are excited, not just when you are tired of your civilian 9 to 5 job, not just when did you have one really amazing month, but when are you actually ready to let the adult content creation industry support you full time and full life. Wanting to leave a traditional job does not make you reckless. Okay. Wanting more control over your time does not make you unrealistic. Wanting to build a life around your own work, your own creativity, your own body, and your own schedule, that's not silly shit. No, those are very real reasons why people move towards full-time content creation. But let's get real. Leaving a traditional job to do adult content full-time is not just some spur of the moment freak on a leash decision. No, it is a financial decision. It is a healthcare decision. It is a long-term stability decision. And if you're not honest with yourself before making that jump, this industry is going to humble your ass quick. So today, instead of treating this like a simple yes or no or throwaway question, right? I want you to instead look at this like a readiness check. And this isn't to try and scare or discourage or be like, no, stay with your 9 to 5. No, it's more like I want to help you protect you, because the goal is not just to quit your 9 to 5 civilian job. No, the goal is to build something that can actually hold you up long term. So let's ask ourselves some questions. The first question I want you to ask yourself is, are you making enough to pay for health insurance? Because once you leave a 9 to 5, you usually don't have an employer helping cover that cost anymore. And for a lot of people, that is one of the biggest financial changes that comes with becoming fully self-employed. Health insurance, y'all, that shit's expensive. Medical appointments are expensive. Prescriptions can be expensive. Emergencies are expensive. Existing as a human in a human body is unfortunately very fucking expensive. But health insurance matters. Your body is a part of your business. Your mind is a part of your business. Your ability to show up, create, sell, communicate, plan, recover, make decisions, those are all a part of your business. So before you leave a job that gives you great benefits, how are you replacing those benefits, and what will that actually cost? Look at what health insurance would cost you monthly. Look at deductibles. Look at copays. Look at prescriptions. Look at what care you already need and what care you might realistically need later. Because when you are self-employed, you are not just replacing your paycheck. No, you are replacing the entire support structure that came with that paycheck. Okay, so the next question I want you to ask yourself is, are you making enough to save for retirement? Okay. Adult content can bring in buku bucks, baby. It can bring in good freaking money, okay? For some creators, it can bring in more money than they ever made through traditional work. But anyone who has worked in this industry for more than 5 minutes can tell you that great income does not automatically mean long-term security. It doesn't. If everything you are making day to day is going straight back out the door to cover things like business costs and life expenses, you are not building freedom that lasts. You are just keeping up with the moment. And that's not meant as a judgmental thing. Been there. You know, there are some times where I'm back there. A lot of us have been there. But if you are thinking about going full time, you need to make sure your income is doing more than surviving the month. You need to be able to save. You need to be able to prepare. You need to be able to think about future you, not just now, current in the moment you, right? Because when you're self-employed, nobody is automatically taking care of retirement for you. There is no employer contribution quietly happening in the background unless you build that system yourself. There is no one making sure you are setting money aside for yourself later. This is now your responsibility if you decide to go full-time. And again, this does not mean you have to have everything perfect before you take yourself seriously as a creator. No. You do not need to wait for that, right? Most people build as they go, but before you make adult content your full-time income, you need to ask yourself whether your income allows you to plan for a life beyond this month, because adult content can be a real career, but you have to treat it like one, and part of treating it like a career is thinking about what happens not just this week, but years and years and years and years from now, and even what happens when you're done. So the next big question to ask before going full-time is, can your income handle emergencies? And I need you to really sit with that one. Can you afford to be sick for a week? What about a month? What happens if a platform freezes your account? Can you afford that? What happens if your reach drops? What happens if your main client or main clients disappear? What happens if your phone breaks? If your shooting lights go out? What happens if your body or your brain simply says, no, get fucked. We are not doing this today, right? Because full-time self-employment means there's no paid sick leave waiting for you. Good God, I fucking wish there was. There's no one who will replace your equipment for you. There's no built-in safety net if your main earner suddenly slows down or disappears. You have to build that safety net yourself. And that safety net does not have to be perfect before you begin, but it does have to exist at some capacity. A lot of creators can make good money when everything is going well. The real big fucking question is what happens when things are not going well. That's the difference between income and stability. Income is money coming in, and we all have income, right? Stability is having enough structure around that income that one bad week, month, whatever doesn't destroy everything you've built. That matters even more in adult content because this industry can be unpredictable. Platforms change, traffic changes, your life might change. You can do everything right and still have a slow ass period. That is not always a reflection of your talent or your ability. It is just a part of running a business and an industry that moves quickly. So you want to build from a place of preparation and not panic. The next question is, do you have a strong and consistent client base? Not just one good client, not just one really good month, not just one platform sending you traffic for a little while. No, do you have regular buyers? Do you have repeat clients? Do you have people who come back? Do you have a system that helps new people find you? Do you have more than one way people can discover your work? Okay, and this is actually something I see happen a lot. One of the easiest traps to fall into is thinking that one strong income source means the whole business is stable. If one whale is funding your full business, your business is not stable. Your whale is stable. If most of your income is coming from one person, one platform, one style of content, or one temporary burst of attention, that is something to be careful with. It does not mean you are doing anything wrong. It does not mean you are not talented. It just means you need more information before you make a major life decision around it. A strong client base is not about having perfect numbers every single day. No business functions that way, although that'd be nice. It is about seeing enough consistency over time that you can reasonably trust the direction you're moving in, and it won't come tumbling down because one person stops by. Another big point is, do you make enough to pay all your bills and then live? not just barely cover rent, not just pay the minimums, not just survive if nothing unexpected happens, right? No. Can you pay your rent or mortgage? Can you pay your utilities? Can you pay your taxes? Can you save money? Can you cover your business expenses? Can you handle emergencies? Yes? Okay, good. Now, can you buy food? Can you pay to go see a movie? Can you put gas in your car? Can you pay to go to, I don't know, a concert, right? Do you still have enough after all of your necessities to still be a person outside of work? Because that part matters too, you guys. And this is something I did wrong for about 3 years of this job. I let it being full-time mean that all I did was work. If going full-time means you are constantly panicking, constantly overworking, constantly trying to squeeze money out of every hour, and constantly afraid to rest, you might not be ready yet. That doesn't mean you'll never be ready. It just means your business may need more time or structure or savings before it becomes your full-time support system. And I know that can be so incredibly frustrating, especially if your traditional job is exhausting or you feel like content creation is where your real energy is going. But sometimes the kindest thing you can do for yourself is give your business a little more time to become a little more stable before you ask it to carry everything. Okay, let's move to the next question that it's important that we ask ourselves. You enjoy content creation right now. Good. Do you see yourself enjoying this job in 5 years, 10, 15? Because adult content is work. It's so fun. It can be fun work. It can be creative work. It can be empowering work. And Lord knows it can be flexible work, but it is still fucking work, and it's hard work. It's constantly making decisions about how much access people get to you, how you want to present yourself, what you are comfortable with offering, and how you want to protect your energy. So while I hear you, you might love it right now, I need you to think beyond the exciting parts. Do you still want to be managing platforms in a few years? Do you still want to be keeping up with scheduling in 5 years? Do you still want to be talking to buyers in 10 years? Do you still want to be handling the business side? Do you still want to be adapting when things change? There's not a wrong answer here. The point is just to be so fucking honest with yourself, because sometimes people don't want to do adult content full-time forever. And if you do step away from traditional work now, you need to think honestly about your career path later. Could it look like a gap on your resume if you decide to return to traditional work? Maybe. Does that mean you can never explain it? No. Does that mean you cannot reframe the skills you built? Absolutely not. Creators build a shit ton of transferable skills: marketing, sales, customer service, branding, content strategy, business ops, data tracking, I could keep going. All this shit and all this discipline are real skills. In fact, over on the Creator Spicy Tea Patreon is a resource that breaks down how to translate adult content work into or onto a civilian resume for a safe for work job. Yes, you can reframe this, but you still want to be thoughtful. You want to treat this like a real business decision, not an impulsive escape plan. If you are asking yourself, when do I know I am ready? I would look for proof of concept, right? Do you know what your average month looks like when things are normal, not just when things are unusually popping off? A really good month can be really exciting, but it can also distort expectations and data. You want to look at patterns long term. You want to know what is repeatable. You want to know what is sustainable. You want to know what you can keep doing without burning yourself into the fucking ground. And you want to know what your business looks like when it's not having its best moment. That's usually where you can tell and where your indicators are of if your business is ready to be full-time. You also need to know, and this part sucks, you need to know your actual cost of living. And I mean your real cost of living, not the number you hope it is. Pull your bank statements. Look at your bills. Look at your food. Look at your subscriptions. At the cost of all the rest. And look at the cost of rest itself, because rest does have a cost when you are self-employed. If you are only making money when you are actively working, then you need to plan for times when you are not working. That includes weekends, that includes sick time, that includes burnout times, and that includes slow season, that includes life simply just happening. You deserve a business that allows you to live, not just a business that keeps you in a constant state of survival. I've lived in that business. It fucking sucks. If you go through these questions and you kind of come to realize you are not ready to go full time in adult content yet, it's not a fucking bad thing. That's just information. It does not mean you are not capable. It means you now have a clearer understanding of what needs to be built and what systems need to be put in place before making that giant ass jump. And if you are ready, asking yourself these questions should still help you go into it with more clarity, because even when going full time is the right move, it should still be a planned move. You want to know what your income needs to be. You want to know what your savings need to be. You want to know what your backup plan is. You want to know what your business needs from you. You want to know what your life needs from your business. Going full time in adult content can be an incredible move. It can give you more control over your schedule, help you build income in your own terms, open doors, create flexibility, and become a real long-term business. But it should not be built only on hope and duct tape and paper clips. It should be built on proof of concept, savings, systems, consistency, and a realistic understanding of what this industry is actually asking from you. So before you make the jump, ask yourself the practical questions. And then if the answer is not yes yet, that is okay. That is really okay. Keep building, keep tracking, keep learning your numbers, and keep strengthening your foundation. You do not have to rush into full time to prove that you are serious. Sometimes the most serious thing you can do is prepare well enough that when you do make the jump, you are not leaping blindly, but you are stepping with care on the platform and the foundation that you have built. Thank you all so incredibly much for sitting on down with me. I hope you are so safe. I hope you are so sane, and I hope you are thriving.